Hello, hello, hello. There's my lighter. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? Let's do an all signs. It's been a while. So we're going to get a story time and then we'll do some cards for all the signs, right? Oh, excuse me. Oh, man. How y'all doing? Surviving the end of these retrogrades. Ready for another fun-filled season. Ooh, what do we got? Oh, the stars. How pretty is that? 6 of Cups. Let's see what we got going on with this. All right, the 16, the stars, 6 of Hearts, dream, fame, encouragement, and destiny. For the stars, we look to our tale of the Star Maiden, a magical creature who lived in a star. She came to a young man to tell him she was seeking a home. She was encouraged by his people to live among them. The Star Maiden discovered a white flower to call her home. Her dreams of a safe haven were answered, and the Star card reminds us that the future is bright. This card offers hope for dreams realized. This card offers hope for dreams realized. Where the card lies indicates how close to fame and recognition are. Acclaim is at hand when this card falls near the Corinth card. If near a card about a job, it can indicate a promotion. When you see the Star card, remember that fame can be given, but respect must be earned. And the Star Maiden had to try out all her different choices for a dwelling, but once she discovered it, her destiny was complete. Very interesting. Give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back. My bad. I know for you guys that was only like 2 seconds. Alright, so. Y'all want to do a full on? Let's do a full on for everybody, huh? Just make sure I'm not messing these up. I'm going to I haven't used these in a while. So I just want to reset them. I'm going to be using, the Light Workers? Light Seers Tarot. We'll do a shadow card, an oracle card, and a 3D 40-5D spread for everybody. Those who don't know what that is, a 3D is basically the 3D, right? I always call it the 3D shit, right? The paperwork, the bullshit, the Facebook drama, the gossip, the BS, the perceptions, things like that. Things that are very core, right? People's assumptions based on toxic programming, things of that nature, right? Or what things appear to be. 4D is what's actually on everybody's mind. It could be messages from recently passed spirits, right? And then the 5D, those are archangel type messages, Pleiadians, Arcturians, 5D being messages, right? Perception on that level, or your highest self's perception on it, right? Because we all exist on all these planes too. Alrighty, so we're going to do the Light Seers card. Remember, we're doing the star here. Let's get a rolling. We're going to do the Modern Tarot, Light Seers, and Sun and Moon. Alright, so Aries. I've also decided that for the Oracle cards, I am going to start reading the definitions. I know my reading out loud is just so wonderfully entertaining, but I don't know. I think it takes like a certain part of my own personal bias out of the cards, right? When I read the definitions, especially for the Oracle cards, because, yeah, someone took a lot of time to design each image, right? All right, Aries, we got Dreamtime Creation for your Oracle card. Ooh, we got Triumph of Lies for your shadow. All right, so let's start out with dealing with your shadow. And of course, Aries, Triumph of Lies is number one, number uno. For my fellow Aries there. All right, so Triumph of Lies. If something hurts me, I change myself so it can stop. The visual seed. Headless mannequins crowd against each other under a cold neon light. They are dressed in luxurious clothes and pricey accessories. Among them, one has a crowned skull floating where her face should be. The sentence, not all that glitters is gold. Emptiness is felt when there is nothing under the dress. The triumph of lies is about appearance. The appearance is always so important to the world. Day by day, it seems more important. Could that be a lie too? We seek what the world outside desires and not necessarily society at large. Our family, our partners, or friends place judgments on what we should be. In the dress we should choose, we carve a mask of expectations and behaviors and values to live by. It offers stability to oneself and to our relations. And being honest and true to ourselves can be too tiring, too easy to make us hurt. Unfortunately, the relationship with our masks are not as straightforward as it feels. Inside the mask, envy grows, vanity takes root, lack of self-confidence becomes a habit. And it gnaws at us and it hurts us from the inside. It feels like it is ourselves, but it is not really authentic. It is just a lie we have made a habit into believing. When our lies become gilded cages and our dress become a burden, we should remember that we were born naked. All right, and for your dream time creation, this is the Oracle card. Very dramatic. Dreamtime creation. Sorry, give me 1 second. There we go. Dreamtime creation number 53. All right, we got Dreamtime creation here. For the Aborigines of Australia, the Dreamtime is a place for time and is a place before time and outside of time in which our ancestral spirit beings came to the earth and gave us life from its form. Once the work was done, these spirits remained in the various forms they created, including the animals, the hills, the stars, and other features of the land, and continue to be present today. The dream time is an individual's or group's spiritual template, including songs and stories that have been handed down for at least 60,000 years. Although the Aborigines would say that they've existed since the beginning of time, in one such tradition there is a creation story involving the didgeridoo, which is essentially a hollowed out log that emits a droning sound when played. In this card, we see the spirit man plays his didgeridoo, and the world is sung into existence. Note the various beings and colors and structures of the land that are being created, all carrying spirit that has been breathed into them. Close your eyes and tune into your breathing and allow yourself to sink deeply into your heart of the living creation that you are. As you notice your breath becoming steady and slightly deeper than usual, observe the urge within you that is beginning to come forth in some creative action. Pay attention to any images, sounds, or feelings that beckon your awareness, and there you will find the key as to the manner in which to express this magnificent pulse. Your breath is a crossover between the spirit and the physical reality. Breathing comfortably and steadily helps you align yourself with spirit, which then brings in a clearer focus on what creative expressions is preparing to be birthed through from this card from you. Discard any habitual thought patterns that would prevent the manifestation of what you are being prompted to bring forth. Allow yourself to take risks with this self-expression, and of all creation will smile upon you. So it's definitely calling into a tuning into your genuine self, right? And listening to what really calls to you, right? Instead of what you think people want you to be, which is what the triumph of lies is, right? Alrighty. All right, let's get a little 3D45 going here. 3D, 40, 5D for Aries. You know what? I'm not liking this deck. It's being a little rough on the shuffle. So I'm going to do the Light Seers deck, Sun and Moon, and then I've got my bicycle decks over here. Oh, much better. Much better. Tell you, Aries, you got your Emperor card right there in the middle on your 5D. Definitely got a lot of call of anchoring into who you truly are and stop trying to be what everybody thinks that you should be. One second. Sorry about that. That's when people are home. I gotta remind people to please be quiet. The doors only block so much noise. Alrighty. I don't know how sensitive my microphone might pick up stuff. Alright, Aries, your 30, 40, 5D here. We got an 8 of Cups here. And I love this card in this deck because it's like true love never dies. Genuine love is genuine love. You're always going to have that genuine connection, right? Or you're always, it was real. That's the kind of what I'm getting from this, right? It was real. Whatever it was real. But this is a rite of passage, right? The 6 of Swords here. Sometimes you got to let, allow the past to die, right? We got a 6 of Pentacles here. Love them with the spiders, right? The 6 of Pentacles is the manifester energy, right? Definitely got some webs there. Right, and creating webs. We got the 6 of, this is Jack of Pentacles. We got the 6 of Pentacles right after this. Now this is a feminine energy, right? Definitely a little bit guarded. The 6 of Pentacles is usually this equal give and take, right? There should always be an equal give and take in any type of dynamics, right? You should feel like you are getting a reciprocation for the amount of energy that you're giving, whether it's doing favors for people, whether it's, Pentacles are usually about money, but it also could be 3D things, right? If you physically just don't have it in you to give, don't give till it's detrimental to you. Don't give to people who, don't reciprocate either, right? Don't return the favor ever. Things of that nature. I got the 7 of Cups here at the end. What? Illusions, 7 of Cups. For me, has always kind of been like the playerist type card. It definitely comes with the message of drinking from every cup will get you poisoned. With the 8 of Cups here too, I don't know, I get kind of a warning of 66. I'm not sure if this Jack of Pentacles is you or a person that you're dealing with. There's definitely a mindful of like, don't being, this is a rite of passage. Be sure to protect your own energy here, definitely. You may be coming off as defensive because this is the whole 3D, right? This is the whole 3D. And the 7 of Cups, what? Like you're willing to drink out of any cup. Let's see what the 40 has to say on this. The 40, I get a sense that you might be feeling like you have a lot of loss of power, right? Like you've lost a lot of your power and you're trying to rebuild that here because you've got the Queen of Wands here, right? Trying to tap into that. Yeah, the divine feminine version of it, right? Trying to turn back on that vibrancy, right? I got the Two of Wands here. Now that talks about the dominion, but the Two of Wands is also about a lot about discovering things about yourself, discovering how, and figuring out things. I always love how there's always this wall of fire in these decks too for the Wands. And with the dominion it's like there's your own world and then there's times to discover outside of the world, right? I do got the Seven of Cups here again, right? It says debauched in this one. Right? So I just get a lot of sense of trying to turn that on, a lot of progress and discovery. That Seven of Cups, I feel like there's been a lot of illusions painted. A lot of illusions painted. Maybe you've made that mistake of drinking from the wrong cups, things of that nature, allowing yourself to be pulled into more sensual energies. I do get a sense, though, here with the 21, you got the Sun card coming out here at the end. And, yeah. I think you're because you got the Power card reversed, which means you're focused on restoring your own power. The Queen of Wands is the divine feminine Aries energy. The Two of Wands with the discovering. Yeah, I feel like it was been a lot of discovery about, just yourself and everything else going on. You do have the Sun card here at the end here, which talks a lot about coming back into that warmth and vitality energy. I love how they got little fairy wings. Never noticed that before. And you got all the zodiacs on the top, right? 21 also is the beginning of the new cycle, right? You got 10s, which is the end of one cycle, and the 10 usually means you're about to come into a similar cycle again. 20 is you have a choice. You can go back and start over again at 10 to 20, or you can go to 21 and start a new cycle, right? What does the 5D have to tell you? The 5D is telling you that allowing your heartstrings to be torn apart, right? Now, I like this in this deck because it's the Three of Swords. They're all the way down here. They're tattooed on her arm, right? And it's this whole message of all these strings are ripping this heart apart, right? And it's a matter of, you're choosing to focus on these things that are hurting you, right? And are they really hurting you because there are other people pulling on these strings, right? These are strings that are being torn on and that you're focusing on and you're allowing them to tear at you, right? It's causing conflict. It's causing conflict within yourself as well, right? You have the Emperor card here in the middle. It's hard when you see things that people are doing and you know what's going to happen 3 moves down the road. It's like you see this person doing this whatever thing that 3 moves down the road, this is really going to hurt somebody else that you care about, right? And it's hard to see these things and not allow them to rip you apart and not allow them to want you to cause these conflicts, right? But sometimes, even though you know the Tower is coming, you have to allow it to come, right? You just have to allow that, whatever is going on, to come. Allow it to be torn apart. I like all the butterflies too, also. Oh my God, I got a Tower here, right? I like it has, and this is the reason I just pulled these down, right? I got these from a cemetery. Oh, there. Right there. Aries card there, right? All of creation created within a single seed. Right? I just get a sense that once you allow the Towers to happen, allow the disconnects to happen, right? If it's hurting you to watch this person do these things, you have to really weigh out where you have to step back and just allow that person and those timelines to take place, because they're not yours to mess with, right? Doesn't matter, right? You can't stop people, and it was a message in my cards and coffee. You can't stop people from working out their own timelines. They came with their own spiel to do, right? Worry about what you need to do and worry about where your focus is. And don't allow the fact that you know something horrible is going to happen to somebody else based on what they're doing to themselves or what they're doing to their family or whatever. You're going to have to let them go and do what they're going to do and focus on what it is that you need to do. You need to be worried about how you're going to win your own personal chess game, right? And allow these towers and stuff to fall to the side. I got the divine masculine fire energy here at the end, right? And now the King of Wands, he's the visionary and he's an entrepreneur and he is more focused on building within himself. So there you go. You get the Emperor and you got the King of Wands. But you need to be more worried about what you need to be doing instead of worrying about what the hell everybody else is doing. Allow them to do what they're going to do, right? Allow them to do what they're going to do, right? And back to these two cards. Focus on who it is you are. Right? Focus on who you are, what you're breathing into creation, right? Let go of what other people are bringing upon themselves. Stop letting that tear you apart. You create your world in your own fantastic, beautiful way, and don't worry so much about how everybody else wants you to create your world. All right, beautiful Aries. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, Taurus. Taurus. Taurus, we got the Meadow of Vulnerability here for your Oracle card. Lavender and sunflowers. Actually, lavender blooming around the park, around the corner. We got the Triumph of Lies again. I'm going to go ahead and skip the reading on that. If you're jumping around, go back to Aries. I read this card already. I'm not going to read it again. So I'm actually going to put that to the side. The card that you drew was Bride in the Cage. So let's get your shadow here. 21-3, Bride in the Cage. All right, the Bride in the Cage. Tomorrow will be the right moment. Tomorrow will be better, even if today is hell. And a gorgeous white dress shines through the neon gray artificial light of the evening. It is worn by a mannequin with a disassociated skeletal head. It seems like a happy place, if not for the light. The mannequin stares at the outside while the purple laser grid cage holds it in. The sentence: did we die waiting for the perfect day, or were we never alive? Going dark. When we put let me get it together here. When we put the good of our life just in our expectations, we can dismiss the present. Waiting for the dawn we know will arrive. The future becomes a shopping cart. It is a bit of this and a bit of that, a few kilograms of this and a couple boxes of another that. When we look at it, it shines like a brand new day in a commercial. As it happens with commercials, as it happens with commercials, when the future comes, it's not exactly perfect. The smile is forced, the day is too hot or too cold, the kiss is dry, the lions limp softly and doesn't roar, and as long as something is not here, it is pushed further along the timeline. We have the luxury of taking off the reality and treat it as a fantasy. We push forward and we push forward until we actually catch up with our dream, and then we are crushed. The future should not feel like a cage, not even a gilded, wonderful, handmade designer cage. The future is a tree, gnarled and rough to the touch, full of flowers only in spring, dense and damp through the rain. It is absolutely imperfect. All right, we got vulnerability, right? That's a lot of future casting. Living in a future casted what? It's okay that today sucks. Tomorrow's going to be wonderful, right? Treating, I like how it said that, treating tomorrow as a like a shopping cart. Meadow, vulnerability, 98. The Meadow of Vulnerability. The meadow is a card that invites us in with its beauty and openness. The flowers have arranged themselves in a poetic design orchestrated by nature. The lush, rolling fields urge us to relax and stay for a while. Yet for some, the idea of being in such an open space is terrifying. And in an expansive meadow like this, you may feel exposed and defenseless, lacking the perceived safety of an enclosed area. For others, walking through the meadow can be an exquisitely satisfying experience. We can feel the comfortable in the openness and visibility, enjoying the 360-degree view with nothing but the sky above. Yes, we may still feel vulnerable, but with a twist. The vulnerability is built on the foundation of trust rather than fear. The capacity to trust your own instincts to tell us if there are any potential threats we must respond to, but relying on this instinctual knowing, we can relax and enjoy the beauty that surrounds us. Sip here. You are in a place now where you can take risks with your feelings. And even more important, take risks with the truth of who you are. The truth that you know in your heart and soul. You no longer need to be subjected to your conditioned fears of letting others know who you really are. Yes, others may judge, evaluate, and criticize, and perhaps even put you down. These are very real possibilities, yet by trusting that you have the strength to deal with these reactions rather than responding adaptively and always playing it safe, you can be more confidently allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Always holding back from expressing your truth can create an illusion of safety. But armed with your trust and your faith, you can choose to be vulnerable and share your authentic self with the world. Alrighty, let's see what we got going with that for the 3D 45D. Get a strong sense of, definitely an in-between of caging yourself in and opening yourself up to everything is definitely a choice you guys are in the middle of right now. 3D 45D for Taurus. We got a Knight of Pentacles that just fell out on its own here. Attracting your own abundance or someone or an energy. The Knights are usually someone that's kind of guarded, but this one he's not wearing. He's got a shield on, but he is not wearing any armor, and he's walking in front of his horse, and the Pentacles are following him. Sorry for the banging in this happened. I gotta glass this. Alrighty. I don't know if 33 is a big number for you. I got the Two of Pentacles here, right? So the Two of Pentacles is learning to be adaptable and trying to bring balance, trying to balance yourself, right? I got a Three of Swords here. I like it in this deck. I feel like it's someone who's moved on from Three of Swords type situations, right? Trying to find their own way. You got the Three of Cups here, the Three of Hearts here, right? Little dragon holding its own little rose over its heart, and you got the... And the Three of Cups is all about those... Yeah, and you got three... Oh, there's three little roses. 1, 2, 3. One's not bloomed yet, right? Finding yourself into a loving area, a place of celebration. Now, the thing is, though, you got this place of celebration, but then you also have the Seven of Clubs right behind it, right? So the Seven of Clubs is a lot about overcoming competition, persevering through competition, right? And then moving on. Energy from this, right? You can either dwell on this competition. I'm not sure if it's a competition for attention or what this is, but it definitely is a competitive type of attitude here, which could be the Three of Swords that you're moving on from as well, trying to move on from this competitive type energy into a genuine loving type energy, but it's going to take releasing that and letting it go, right? You got to let go of those Three Cups that spilt and focus on those Two of Cups connections that are still around you. You can't be dwelling in disappointment, right? There's definitely some physical moves that you need to be making, right? Laying there wallowing around in your Ten of Swords is not going to do you any good. There's definitely some answers, some things that you need to look deep within yourself, some secrets and things. And yeah, things, I get a lot of sense of lying to yourself, because this is in the 4D, and the Moon card is also in the 5D here, right? And it's kind of a lying to yourselves, and I'm saying that because you got this here, right? The Eight of Swords. And what is the Eight of Swords message always is? You are trapped. The only thing trapping you is yourself. The only thing that traps you into anything is yourself, right? And sometimes you need to recognize, where you're self-sabotaging. Definitely a Ten of Swords Drama Queen card is a self-sabotaging energy. It puts you into a negative frequency, right? The 5D is telling you to really dive into the waters of your own emotions and evaluate the truth within yourself. Own your dark stuff. Own your dark stuff. Not only do you need to own your dark stuff, but you need to own it. And then if you've hurt people, you need to apologize. I've always found that's been a big thing for Taurus. You can't just act like stuff didn't happen. It's a time to come into a real recognition, real self-evaluation of who you truly are. And in order to do that, you need to own the things that you've done. Did you learn from them? Because if you don't own what you've done in the past, you have a real threat of doing that again to yourself, right? The Three of Pentacles here, what is going to take a lot of work. It's going to take work, and it's going to take some teamwork here, right? The Three of Pentacles is a team working card, right? It's collaborating. It's allowing people to help you and allowing yourself to go through it. I definitely got like this Alice in Wonderland. She's got the key to the giant key to this giant door here. It's a Five of Pentacles, feeling locked out. Feeling locked out, but you need to get up and you need to go and pick up that heavy ass key and stick it in the door and go through it. You need to. And if you can't do it on your own, you can allow people to help you find it. But in the end, the Hierophant here, in the end, the source of happiness, you find yourself, right? You have to find that staircase within yourself. I just get the vision of Thich Nhat Hanh's "The Kingdom of Heaven is Here Now" speech that he did, and it's within you type of energy, right? You can't keep expecting the outside world to confirm your happiness for you or to bring you your joy, right? And I'm getting this because I got this Knight of Pentacles up here, right? You can't wait for this Knight of Pentacles to come to you. If you want a Knight of Pentacles to come to you, then you need to be in the energy of Knight of Pentacles yourself. You need to be in an abundant, attractive flow on your own. And the only way to do that is to find it within yourself and then radiate it out, right? And there's this whole Six of Cups here, nostalgic energy, right? And it's a lot of releasing the past without being angry about it, right? It's about loving the good times, but understanding that they'll never be the same again, right? It's kind of like, I love my dog now. I love my dog. Does that mean I didn't love my dogs before? I didn't love the dog that I had before the dog that I have now? You know, I'm almost 40 years old. I've gone through quite a few bit of animals. It doesn't mean I didn't love them. Does it mean that they weren't important now that they're not here? No, they're still very much important. And there's no reason you can't love still the memories of it and love the reality of what is today too. Right? The choice is yours. You can cage yourself in. You can cage yourself in, or you can open yourself up to be vulnerable. You can either box yourself in to an enclosure, or you can be open to all the beauty and wonder of the world. And there's a lot of energy of this is all within you. What? Are you caging all your joy within yourself and not allowing it out and just being, oh, I'll be happy tomorrow? Or can you open yourself up to more possibilities that could bring you even more joy than you could have ever imagined in your little shopping cart world? Alrighty. Who we got next? Gemini. Gemini. Ooh, submerged. The iceberg. Ooh. The masquerade. All right, start with the shadow. The masquerade, 15, bringing in the 6. All right. What I can't have forever, I will have for a minute. What I can't have for a minute, I will hold for 1 second. The visual seed. A man's face, young in the flesh and posture, with a wide open shirt over him, appears the most complicated and Baroque hat straight from the Viencia Carnival. Once again, another man that I thought was a woman in this card. All right. It's Venetian, Carnival. No idea what that is. The sentence underneath it. Under the guise of Cupid, I will come to you. Under the guise of a thief, I will fly away. Going dark. This is often the guilt in taking the mask of Don John or Donna John. The seducer is not a master of love, neither of manipulation. He is a master of the epineal, of what fleeting and brief, transient to the extreme. He is the master of the moment, and such he forgot all other kinds of eternity. There is a guilt if you care because you are not building. I don't like the way this is written. There is a guilt if you care because you are not building. There is a guilt of loss because you are not treasuring. There is a guilt of indifference because when you don't care, you cheat yourself of the meaning of value. And sometimes there is a guilt in selfishness and in the desire itself and in everything leading to pleasure, as if the only pleasure that can be sacred are only those labeled as such. The masquerade is the dance. It is the road that goes in circles and ebbs and flows and always ends in the first light, before the time comes to hold it tightly, when the time comes to let it go. Ooh. Sorry, that was a rough read on that one. Got a very Casanova, Don John. Whew. All right, iceberg submerged, and this is what, you know, it kind of really plays into that. What, you're only seeing 10% of whatever this is, 80, or you're only showing 10% of yourself. And you're hiding the rest, right? All right, here we go. Up to 90% of the iceberg body is below the surface, deeply submerged in the bosom of the grandmother ocean, yet the grandmother allows considerable freedom for her enormous children, permitting them to move about as dictated by the currents, and their momentum having broken off from the glacier ice itself. They float along the sea, much to the detriment of vessels that attempt to traverse these passageways. Most of us have heard stories of the ill-fated ships that have the tragic encounters with these ice mountains. Although the topmost portion of the iceberg can be easily seen, there still is a massive amount of its body beneath the water, and it may be difficult to detect. And that which remains unseen can fool us, perhaps even be dangerous or damaging. When you only see the mask and only live in the fleeting moment, you don't question what's happening when other things are, when you're not around, or what are they like when you're not there, right? Whatever you suppress or deny and attempt to keep out of the conscious awareness will show up somewhere and somehow. These are your shadow aspects. At one time, you put them out of your conscious for a good reason, yet they remain contained by shame and guilt, and sometimes these submerged aspects of yourself are projected onto others so that they mirror those denied or suppressed parts of you, and you may even harshly judge these characteristics when they are exhibited. Now is the time to allow the elements to surface and embrace them. These may make up some sort of self-expression, a secret dream you wish to accomplish, or even an uglier aspects that are difficult to acknowledge or accept. Whatever you have submerged deep inside of you, this is your opportunity to pay attention to those things and to welcome them to the family called you. Yeah, there's a lot of integrating your dark aspects with your light aspects in there as well. Very similar to Taurus, right? That masquerade card's all about living in just the moment. Where, oh yeah, oh, it was the masquerade parties, right? Why am I'm getting like the Roman version of that, right? Where it was just like wear all these masks and they would have these big orgies and then everybody would just go home afterwards, right? And everybody would just like pretend like that didn't happen. Meanwhile, that is an aspect within yourself. Something that you carry. Right? Or wearing a mask and hiding who you truly are. 90% of what, you know. Let's see what we got going on here. Ooh, very similar, very similar. Got a lot of threes going on here with you as well. All right, you got the Nine of Pentacles here, and that's definitely where your energy goes, where your focus is, right? And I definitely have the we're survive of, daughters. This card comes with a lot of we are what is it? We are the daughters of the witches you couldn't burn. We are the reincarnations of the witches you did burn. But this is also pulling into what you can use that energy to manifest abundance, or you can use it to manifest hate. It's up to you on how you're focusing on it, right? I got the 8 of Swords here. What? Up on that balcony, entrapping yourself on a balcony here, right? I've got a indecisive energy here, right? You got two of Swords, one upright, one downright, right? The one is what? Indecisive about this Joker, these game players here. What? Being quiet. I feel a vow of silence was a decision that was made at some point. That might be what you're hiding. And you definitely have this other Joker here at the end, right? This is a very, very wounded child holding a scary mask, right? Yeah. He's got the sad clown face painted on it, but down here is the mask that he could put up over his face, right? So I feel like there's definitely an energy of entrapment, for sure, that I'm picking up here. An energy of entrapment, hiding behind a mask, pretending things are better than they are. I think that you might feel like nobody's noticing this, and that might even hurt worse, right? Sometimes when we spend so much energy trying to pretend like nothing's bothering us, it actually hurts us worse, because it's like, how does nobody else see what's happening right now? You know, it's okay that I'm fooling all these people, these fake people in the outside world, but maybe somebody in my real world should notice what's happening. Right? I got the 3 of Wands virtue here, definitely trying to juggle your foresight, juggle what you can physically prepare for, and juggling what your intuition is telling you what you need to do. I got the 9 of Swords reversed here, which means I do feel like you do recognize that this is an unnecessary anxiety that you're putting onto yourself. You're really trying to tap back into conjuring up your own power, right? Trying to, I am a reincarnation of somebody powerful. I am, you know, I have come for this. I do see that there is a Prince of Swords energy here. There's definitely somebody who likes to knock your confidence. And I think that that might be part of that 90% that you're burying here, right? And I feel like some of the way that you're burying that is by overindulging. Right? The 4 of Cups is a luxury card, but it usually shows somebody kind of, you know, half lit, leaning up against a tree. She's sitting there holding the 3 of Cups, but I'm celebrating. What? And the universe is trying to hand you a full cup over here, but she's sitting there with those 3 empty cups. Little, overindulged, right? All right, up here at the top, here we go. 3 of Swords, right? What? Allowing yourself to be torn apart by outside influences, right? Allowing it to cause conflicts within yourself, right? I like how this is, yeah, causes conflicts within yourself, and it causes conflicts with other people. Everybody's, I don't know why, but I get the crabs in the bucket metaphor with this one, right? The crabs in the bucket. The reason the crabs can't get out the bucket is because they're all climbing on top of each other. As soon as one gets close, somebody else pulls them down. Right? And they end up at the bottom. I got the 3 of Wands here again, right? And I love it with this one because this is the surfer, right? She's waiting. She's at the beach. She's getting ready to go out there. Surfing is all about sitting on the board and waiting for the perfect wave and having to time it and having to get your balance up and having to, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of, like I said, preparation, foresight, and intuition. What? You have to intuitively know that that's going to be the wave. You got to be preparation. You got to be prepared to wait for it. You got to be able to physically start doing the motions, right? And the foresight. Foresight is what? You've watched all these waves. Now you got the timing. That's the foresight. Okay. So here's the wave. Now here's preparation. You got to start paddling with the wave if you want to catch it, right? At the Page of Wands. If you're passionate, truly, genuinely, all in, passionately crazy about it, then you should embrace it, right? But you need to embrace all the aspects of yourselves. You can't be burying and hiding bits and pieces and parts of yourself. You need to own both your light and your dark side. Doesn't mean you have to share it with the world. Doesn't mean you have to share it with the world, but you do need to take the mask off, at least with yourself, and be honest with yourself, and definitely honest with those that are closest to you, right? Don't portray yourself as something you are not to people, because that is how you will end up in very toxic relationships, because if you're faking, that's the kind of person you're going to be attracting, right? And nobody wants that. All right. That was what? Gemini, Cancer. Cancers. What's going on with our crabs? Effortlessly. The waterfall. Bride in the cage again. All right. I guess I'll just read it again. Bride in the cage. 21. Visual seed. The visual seed. Tomorrow will be the right moment. Tomorrow will be better, even if today is hell. A gorgeous white wedding dress shines through the neon gray artificial light of the evening. It is worn by a mannequin with a disassociated skeletal head. It seems like a happy place if not for the light. The mannequin stares outside while the purple laser grid holds it in. The sentence, did I die waiting for the perfect day, or was I never alive? When we put the good in our life just in our expectations, we dismiss the present, waiting for the dawn that we know will arrive. The future becomes a shopping cart, and it needs a bit of this and a bit of that and a few kilograms of that and also a couple boxes of this. And then we look at it and it shines like a brand new day in a commercial. And as it happens with commercials, when the future comes, it's not exactly perfect. The smile is forced, the day is too hot or too cold, the kiss is dry, the lion limps softly and doesn't roar. And as long as something is not here, it is pushed further along the timeline, and we have the luxury to take it off reality and treat it as a fantasy. We push forward and we push forward until we actually catch up with our dream, and then we are crushed. The future should not feel like a cage, not even a gilded, wonderful, handmade designer cage. The future is a tree, gnarled and rough to the touch, full of flowers, but only in spring, dense and damp through the rain. Absolutely imperfect. Finding the beauty and perfection. And this really does tie into the waterfalls. Effortlessly. $146. I'm sorry. 146. Waterfalls. Right? Water naturally flows from the higher to the lower ground, eventually finding its way to the ocean. One of nature's most exquisite, dynamic demonstrations of this fact is the waterfall. Graceful, powerful, and effortlessly, she can take our breath away with her cascading beauty. She readily flows around that which otherwise impedes. Extremely patient, persistent, and skillful in the way she ever so gradually shapes and carves her passageways down the slope of the mountain. Note how the waterfall forms ribbons that accord with the artistry of the stone faces she descends. Join into a calmer pool for a rest before she continues her journey. There is no strain or stress in this movement. The water simply flows blah 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 blah. Sorry. The water simply follows the natural law, the interaction between the formations of the precipice she traverses and the powerful fluidity and adaptability of her flow. Effortless. You have come to the edge of your comfort zone and you find yourself fighting to resist moving past that perceived precipice of who you are. You can be who you are how you can be or what you can do. The Spirit is asking you to stop beyond the edge and allow yourself to do so with ease rather than struggle. Yes, at times physical exertion is necessary, but when performed with fluidity and grace, even when the task seems daunting, you'll find that the movement allows you to move effortlessly. Approach the present situation or relationship with the awareness and grace. Do not try to make it effortlessly, just creates more strain. The key word here is to allow. This is not a time to fight, but to surrender to the will of the Spirit, even if you are being asked to let go completely and tumble into the brink of creation itself. You will find that the waters here are ultimately still and calm. Keep your focus on your solar plexus and your breath, breathing through any tension, relaxing and yielding the movement that is occurring in any given moment makes your life effortlessly. So I like the way that there's definitely a stark contrast between trying to force create a reality in which you're caged into and just allowing life to flow, right? One of my ultimate favorite sayings is prepare for the worst but hope for the best, right? No matter what you plan, expect for things will go wrong. I mean, there's Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong. Everything's not going to go picture perfect all the time. It can't. It can't. What? Why is Alanis Morissette? Isn't it ironic, right? Rain on your wedding day. You know, you sit there and you planned a summer wedding for 2 years and you booked dates and you saved the dates and you did all this other stuff and all the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then the day comes and it's raining. Now you have all this stuff and you need to rearrange it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You can sit there and cry and fight and fuss and scream and holler and rail against the universe, or are you going to find a way to adapt what you have already accomplished into a new vision, a new dream, and it could be something even better, right? Imagine now, instead of your first dance being whatever, rose petals and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, now you're dancing in the summer rain. And you're creating a memory that nobody else can plan to create. And something that you will never forget, right? Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I don't know what's up here. You got a beautiful, beautiful connection here, right? Beautiful connection. A lot of transformative power and victory energy around you. 6 of Pentacles. A lot of equal give and take. Another with the bride thing. You got a bunch of Cancers getting married here soon or something. I got the 6 of Pentacles here, and for some reason I'm just getting an image of, the bride in the cage. But the 6 of Pentacles is supposed to be about bringing balance, right? It's supposed to be about being generous and giving at the same time, right? Are you genuinely generous? I don't know if 66 is a big deal for you too. Whenever I see the 6 of Pentacles, it's like, are you getting what you give, right? Are you getting what you give? And if you're not, then you need to allow yourself to take this rite of passage here to recognize that, right? True teams, you got the 3 of Pentacles here at the end, and it says, on death to us part, right? 3 of Pentacles, right? Who's genuinely giving with you? Who's 6 of Pentacles with you, right? This is more than just, you know, this is more than just your regular connection. The Three of Pentacles is more of a community type thing, right? Who genuinely gives to you as much as you're giving back? Who gives you good ideas? When you find out something bad's about to happen on whatever day you have planned, who is your team that is helping you find the positive or find a way to make it positive, right? Focus on that. And don't be afraid to allow people, right? You got that bride in the cage is being locked into a vision that you won't let go of. The Three of Pentacles is kind of calling you. Like on the 3D level, it's almost impossible to plan all that stuff. So you might want to let other people help you, give you good ideas, right? I got the Eight of Pentacles here. And it's bringing into fruition or starting to harvest into fruition things that you've worked on, right? You worked really hard. You planted seeds. You watered them. You maintained them. Now you got these beautiful bleeding hearts, right? Ready to be collected. We got the Princess of Pentacles here, allowing that abundant flow of the energy to the energy of abundance from the universe to flow effortlessly towards you, right? Ace of Swords again, power and victory. I don't know what you got going on that's got you a little messed up, but you got a lot of power and victory going on here. That's the second time that's come out, right? We also got the Eight of Wands, but it's time to stop worrying about like any negative opinions and things like that. Like I said, that Six of Pentacles. Anybody who's not helping you figure out a better way to do things and just pointing out all the problems and like they got excuses or solutions, right? If someone's not helping you find solutions and all they have is excuses as to why they don't want to help you, gotta go, right? Gotta move on from those energies, right? Now with this deck, there is definitely a call about laziness. Watch out for lazy people. There's moving on energy here, but this is also, like I say, a long walk off a short pier. You might need to tell someone who's lazy, who's not helping you, who's not giving, who's not the excuse person, to take a long walk off a short pier. On the top here, we have the reversed Hangman, right? I get a strong sense that you have been stuck for a while, but it is time. You have learned all the knowledge that you need to know. You need to start making, you need to start moving instead of just sitting still all the time. I know there's a lot of worry of feeling like that you will be locked out in the cold if you make these decisions to move away from certain types of energies, but there is a calling here that if you do, you actually will put yourself in a more abundant flow, right? With the Ten of Pentacles here, right? The Ten of Pentacles. You make these moves, you got to let go of that fear of being left out in the cold, the fear of being lonely and things like that, because you will move into a more wealth and established area of your life. You will be pulled by fate and fortune into where you are meant to be, and you will have Six of Wands victory and spotlights on yourself. Woohoo! I like that. That was nice, Cancer. That was nice. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. All right, Leo. Leo. I like that. What you got going on there, Cancer? I don't know. What was it? It was about a singer that messed up on stage, but they were able to just like play through it type deal. Yeah, definitely a lot of adaptability for you. Anyway, all right, Leo, 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 Leo. What do Leo's got going on? Leo, we got love and compassion. Love and compassion for our Leos. Ay, ay, ay. Apologies if you hear my son. He's in the other room playing Fortnite. He gets really, really hyped up when he's playing these games. I don't know if y'all can hear him or not, but I'm not pausing again to go tell him to try to tone it down. All right, Leo, we got sleep perchance to dream as your shadow. And we got love and compassion. All right, let's genuinely read this sleep perchance to dream here, 28. All right, perchance to dream, Shakespeare. If I sleep long enough, ever the lion, right? If I sleep long enough, when I wake up, the pain will be gone. A crowned naked man is reaching, his eyes are closed, and his body is dissolving in the wind. Another man holds him gently. Behind them, a circle of brass is risen by 3 thin silvery threads. The sentence, I die to sleep, perchance to dream, or ... It is the time to surrender, to drown, to dive in head first in the cozy, all-enveloping darkness of the blanket. It is a moment of weakness, a desire to close your eyes and surrender for just 1 moment, 1 second, 1 minute, not like a hero fighting the world, but like a kid, just welcoming the darkness outside within fully. How long will that moment last? A minute? We can say just a minute, but it's not true. Disappearing is but an instant, but into time disappearing is but an instant, just the time to take the breath twice. And yet it can take ages. Ages we'll regret. Ages that will have been lost, like stolen by our own surrendering. And yet we close our eyes. We let one sense after another slow down to nothing. Sight first, then hearing, then smell, then then smell. Last will be touch. The comforting hand we all deserve to hold us up when we have done enough and we just cannot but let it go. I have a hard time reading this. I don't know why the shadow one, the way they wrote, they're just trying to be very poetic about it. The comforting hand we all deserve to hold us up and we have done enough and we just cannot but let it go. All right, love and compassion. 95. All right, love and compassion. In this beautiful image, we see hands reaching towards each other through a heart. The green fields surrounding them is the color of the 4th, our heart chakra. It is when we feel love in our heart center that we not only naturally emit a healing energy of compassion, but we also attract love and compassion. Studies by the Heart Math Institute reveals that the electrical signals from the heart are up to 60 times stronger than the brain, and the magnetic field is as much as 5,000 times more powerful. It is given that our thinking patterns affect our feelings and in turn our reality. What we put out, whether it is love, fear, empathy, sadness, and so forth, it's contained an incredible amount of power to shape and influence our reality. When we focus our intentions and our attention and intentions is love and compassion, we recognize there is no separation between self and other. All wounds stem from the illusion of separation from the source of all creation. The root to healing this wound is through the cultivating of love and compassion for every being on this planet, including yourself. Not a bland standard of unquestioning acceptance, but a heartfelt sense of profound relatedness to whatever you perceive as part of yourself. The true compassion requires not only a feeling of warmth that emanates when we are touched with your heart center, but in acts of kindness, even if it simply means being fully attentive listener. Respect the fact that your heart is a giver, putting out electrical energy, and receiver, drawing in magnetic energy. These energies are best sensed by tending to the steady flow of your breathing while also noticing your heart area. Righteousness, fear, anger, and judgment are some of the common ways we block our natural desire to love. Forgiveness is not only letting go of judgment, but also seeing through the illusion that you and all that is are separate. Look about you and inside of you and do your best to love whatever you see. I always say with this card, I always like to say, you know, show yourself the same love and compassion that you show everybody else. Alrighty. I just get a lot of, you can't sleep the pain away, you can't hide the pain away, you can't close your eyes, you can't pretend like it's not there, right? You have to embrace it, feel it, let it flow, you know, let it shape you in a way that now whenever you see someone go through something similar, you have a compassionate area to work within, right? Turn it into the positive. Understand too that the attachment is the source of all suffering, and suffering is inevitable in the human experience. Whew. Dipping into the waters of your own emotions here, right? That is where your passions are, right? There's a message actually I did with cards and coffee this morning too. It's like, it's feel everything or feel nothing is what you have the choice between now, right? Well, to tap into your emotions means you have to be open to feeling everything. Right? You got the Four of Swords here. It's a time of recuperation, right? You're going to need some space to really be within yourself here so that you can tap back into and allow yourself to process these emotions, right? I got the Seven of Pentacles here. Definitely a lot of a reap what you sow type of energy, right? It's always my message for the Seven of Pentacles, right? Right? It could be reap what you sow is good or bad depending on what you sowed, right? What you put into it. I got a King of Pentacles here, and it's definitely the King of Pentacles that has the kind of energy of, like, the King of Pentacles can be very controlling. He's very boring. He's very disciplined. He can be very controlling, right? And there's this big mask that he's got on, right? Because he likes to make sure that you don't know what's going on. I do see, though, you have a lot of crystallized energy here towards a victory here, right? This King of Pentacles energy could be you. It could be somebody that you're dealing with, right? But there's definitely stuff behind the mask that's not allowed to be seen, that's being bottled up there. Right? You definitely got a rite of passage card here, right? And it's a matter of, like I said, with that Seven of Pentacles, right? It's a matter of looking back on the past and seeing how you've manifested all this upon yourself, because you did. We all do. You know, we're all manifesting our own realities around ourselves, right? And it's a matter of figuring out the science of that within yourself, seizing on your own power and what you have, your own abilities to create, right? You get the Prince of Pentacles energy here, right? So King of Pentacles is very disciplined and controlling, but the Prince of Pentacles, he likes to create new routines, to create new types of forms of abundance, to bring in new energies, right? I do feel like there's a lot of oppression here. You got the Ten of Wands, right? This is a calling of, if the bundle is too heavy, then you need to put some stuff down. I always say this too with the groceries, right? There's always those people that carry in, like, they'll carry in all the groceries in one trip, and you end up causing all kinds of, you hurt your arm or your back, or the bag rips and you end up losing a bunch of your groceries because the soda spilt out and exploded and things like that. Because why? Because you decided to carry too much. You could have just took 2 trips, right? You found a new way of doing it. You're going to have to put down some of these burdens. You also need to go through your burdens that you are carrying and see which ones are even yours. Because a lot of times we find ourselves carrying burdens that aren't ours, and that leads to the Seven of Swords, this futility energy, right? When you're carrying other people's burdens, that's how you get betrayed, because then when you feel like it causes conflict. That's what the 5D is telling you. Carrying other people's burdens causes conflicts, because you will never be able to fix other people's problems, right? That's their problem to fix. It's not your problem to fix. And they're going to do whatever they're going to do, right? So you need to worry about what is your problem, what is yours to control, what you need to do, right? You know, I was also say the crabs in the bucket one here, right? When you're carrying other people's burdens, and then you realize that the reason you're not able to get out of the bucket is because other people are pulling you down into it, right? Ace of Pentacles, it's time to start making some physical moves to disconnect yourself from that. It's time to realize that life is about spiraling up, right? I love the Ace of Swords is power and victory, but in this sense, it's the power and victory over your own mind, realizing that every time you cycle around, because you're going to, regardless of what you do, we're all breaking patterns and cycles and things like that, but you'll notice you still keep running into the similar things. But when you run into something similar, are you seeing it from a higher perspective, or are you just spinning around the bottom like this? You're not getting out of the bucket. Well, now you need to have the view from outside the bucket looking in, right? Spiral up, right? 8 of Cups, move on from those negative energies, right? Set clear, healthy boundaries, right? Clear, healthy boundaries. Don't blind yourself to them. Show yourself as much love and compassion as you show everyone else. All right, you know, this is over an hour, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into 2 videos, and I'm going to put the rest of the signs on a second video. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right, so I love y'all, and for the rest of the signs, go check out part 2. I'll be right back.